What's going on, Queens? All right, so I'm coming in here so that I can answer a question that was asked of me by someone else. They actually sent me a private message. And so I'm just going to let you all know that in the middle of my ramble, especially for that sister when she comes and watches this video, that I am not talking about her, but I am going to still bring up a um, very controversial. I ain't gonna say it's controversial, but my stance in the way that I speak about what I'm about to say is going to be rather strong. How about we say that? Because that's what it really boils down to. So, some of you are contributing more to this community than others. And some of you are building relationships, and many of you, this happens sometimes in community where some of you are reaching out or you're trying to build community. And one of those ways you do it is, whether that's by showing up or whatever, but you may not necessarily feel it. This place, the Authentic Collective, for those of you that are on YouTube, I'm talking to my audience, but yes, I'm streaming videos here, and yes, you should listen because there's always going to be some nuggets in there. There are going to be some amazing business tips for you to understand how to utilize them, and you can take them on any other social media platform and begin to break some barriers with your business. But anyway, um, a lot of you are wondering, well, what do you do and how do you foster the spirit of community? But see, in any community, there's two vantage points that you have. And one of them is, what is the leader doing? So as a leader, I do a lot to make sure that I'm connecting with people, getting to know people, providing quality content in order to foster an environment that's going to be good for connections. However, no matter how much I do all of this, I cannot do it alone. And so many of you, what you have to understand is you see in your feed what is put in by the community. So if you are following 7 people and none of them are posting anything, and I'm one of them, you're going to always see me in your feed. If people are following you, then they're going to see you. And that's just basic. That's just what it is. That's what it is on any social media feed. That's why you go and you follow individuals. But if you're struggling with that, then you have to understand that the Authentic Collective is the place for the woman who's deciding that she's going to break past some of her fears, that she's going to do things differently, and that she's going to take control of what she wants out of life and what her expectations are in this community. So it's just real easy to click the follow button, but you can also click that say hello button. Now, some of the people aren't in the community like that, and only God knows when they're going to actually see the message. But if you look at someone and you look at they at least filled out their title and what they do, then you reach out to them. The ones that are the most active in the community, I would say that you start with them first. If you're on here, if I was not a member of this community and I came here and I got to perusing around, if I'm the facilitator, for instance, I would start with me. And I would look at my post and say, okay, well, who's doing something? Okay, well, August is doing something, and I noticed that, Camille and all of these different people are commenting on the post. So let me reach out. Oh, Teresa, Imani, oh, Annette, oh, and then you start realizing that more people than you realize are actually active. And then those are the people that you go for. You got to realize that even though there are billions of accounts on Facebook, there are also millions of people who have double accounts or who hardly ever use it or go on Facebook fast and stuff like that. And so what you all are looking at in real time is what it really looks like. That's like with your email list. You can have an email list of 1,000 people and only 300 of them open up the email. And so I'm just saying all of that just to make sure that no one in here is getting discouraged because this ain't a place that's just constantly popping with a lot of stuff going on. Oh, I want it popping. And I want people to have fun and I want people to connect in here, but I also want those connections to be intentional. Because see, it's a lot of habits that have to be broken too. I know I'm going into a whole bunch of different things that has nothing. This woman didn't ask any of these questions. While I'm saying I'm speaking in general. The answer is not just to her question, it's everything that's coming from me with the thought of it. But Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all of those places were made to distract you. Yes, you can make money on them and you can leverage them for your business. But how many people, especially if you came to the Business Mastery Summit, you listened to Anitra talking about going down the rabbit hole of being a matter of fact, Lakeisha talked about it too, how you find yourself on social media and it's for God knows how long. And you still haven't reached out to anybody and you haven't done anything and you haven't made any money. And so the point here is for this to be a resource center. The point is for this to be a place of connection. It is not for people to get lost in here and just scrolling all day, because we've got to manage our time. We got families to take care of. We've got things to do. So my biggest thing is take initiative. One person who did take initiative in this group was Imani Aisha. Now, I'm sure she took it, and I'm going to break this down from two different perspectives. I'm sure that she created what she created in the group because she likes the group and she wants to see it thrive. But within all of us, there's also a selfish reason behind everything that we do. Accountability and connection is important to her. I know that because I know her. She's an extrovert. She likes people. Well, if we all, if the majority of people are afraid of COVID and they're not outside, then what do? So her need to have connection subconsciously had her come up with the idea for a virtual co-op. Could I have done that as a leader? Possibly. But what's the likelihood of it coming out of me, especially since I'm more introverted? You guys have no idea how much energy I have to put into doing things to make sure that they are accommodating and welcoming, because I could just leave up off of here and go on about my damn business. But then 9 times out of 10, that need for connection ruled her in such a manner that she created the virtual co-op. And so now, 2 days a week, several of us, and some people pop in and pop out, meet together. That's building up this community, though. And one day we're going to look up and they're going to be like 20, 30 people. And we're going to just look at a whole, it's going to be like, yes, look at all these sisters beast mode working together. We dedicating this time and we conquering down tasks. We getting marketing campaigns done. We getting our lead generation series together. We getting all our stuff in order to launch our podcast, a live event. And you just look at what's happening and it begins to grow and it begins to expand. But that's because she took the initiative out of love and concern for the community and out of love and concern for the needs that she has for herself. And so if we just always kind of sit and wait for it to be popping, then guess what? That's not the mindset of a really good entrepreneur. See, I want you to think of it in terms of the club. You could either be the club or you can go to the club. When I went to the club, I was the club. I didn't care if nobody was on the dance floor. I was on the dance floor. I wanted to kick it, and I was gonna kick it for sure. I didn't go there to be bored. I went there to go have a good time. If we want to take it out of club and energy, or do you change the energy in the room, or do you succumb to the energy that's there? And so this is a beautiful place, and I know we want to connect with more people, but I'm sitting here telling you guys, be intentional. And any of you all that happen to be looking, that are attendees that were at the last summit, one of the first places that you know that you could potentially start is with the speakers. I'm not gonna lie, all of the speakers are not in here heavily actively involved, but several of them are. Message them, get to know them outside of this community. Let's not, and I'm not, and once again, just to make sure we're on the same page, I'm not saying nothing to the sister that asked the question. I'm just giving ideas, period. She may already be doing this, but this is a good question for the overall community. The reason why the people that are in here are the way that they are is not because they always know me behind some post. They've talked to me on Zoom, on the phone. They've gotten to know me. And those bonds get tighter and tighter, in addition to the fact that I show up the way that I do. So let's just remember what the authentic collective is for. It is for a bunch of sisters to be united, where we can have a place to be safe and talk about the issues that matter to us without any inhibitions, because there ain't no Facebook jail here or whatever jail here. And to be a resource center. But you're not going to be a resource to anybody if you're not connecting. So the ones that are connecting, they're going to end up being the go-to life coach, the go-to marriage coach, the go-to language coach, the go-to finance coach, the go-to health and wellness coach, the go-to t-shirt designer, the go-to marketing expert. They're going to become the go-to, not because they mastered the art of figuring out how to get along and go along in here, but because they understand the importance of relationship building. So those are my last nuggets that I have for you all in regards to that. I don't know how many people will see this video, but you know what? I hope a lot of you do. All right, I'm out. Bye.